Dear viewers, the topic which we will discuss today, analyze today is why SAARC is in limbo. South Asian Association of Regional Cooperation is in limbo with a question mark. And there are several reasons that why SAARC is in limbo, but on 9th of April, the spokesperson of Ministry of Foreign Affairs, Pakistan in Islamabad in weekly briefing, he said that Pakistan looking forward to the 19th SAARC summit in Islamabad, but that summit can only be held if the obstacles are removed. SAARC is in limbo since long. The last summit of South Asian Association for Regional Cooperation was held in Kathmandu, the capital of Nepal. It was the 18th summit in November 2016. It has been more than 4 years. It never happened in the history of SAARC. There was a time when every year there used to be a summit, 1985, 86, 87, 88, 89, you name it. And then SAARC became a victim of its issues, of its conflicts among member countries, and the duration, the holding of summit that got widened. But it has been more than 4 years, technically after every 2 years. So the 19th summit of SAARC was scheduled in November 2016. But in September 2016, there was an incident, a terrorist attack in Uri, in the Indian occupied Kashmir, when several Indian soldiers were killed. India put blame on Pakistan. And suddenly at that time also, Narendra Modi was in power, he was the Prime Minister, he is still in power, so he threatened Pakistan after the Uri attack that we will isolate Pakistan regionally and internationally. And to some extent he implemented his threat, that when the time came for the holding of 19th SAARC summit in Islamabad in November 2016, when the Nawaz Sharif government was in power, was the Prime Minister Nawaz Sharif, India along with Bangladesh, Bhutan and Afghanistan decided not to attend the 19th SAARC summit in Islamabad. India gave the reason about terrorism, Bangladesh gave some other reason, Afghanistan and Bhutan the reasons. So out of 8 SAARC members, 50%, that is 4 members, had decided not to attend. And in the Charter of SAARC, it is imperative, it is mandatory that there should be consensus, that the summit should be attended by all the countries. Earlier it happened that India had boycotted the summit, which was to be held in Colombo on some occasion, but then it was a very brief, But this time, India, what it did, that it aligned itself, it got the support of Bhutan, Bangladesh and Afghanistan. As a result, the summit was postponed and has not been held so far, which is very unfortunate. South Asian Association of Regional Cooperation was established formally in December 1985. There were 7 members. These 7 members were basically India, Pakistan as the 2 major countries, then Bangladesh, Nepal, Sri Lanka, Bhutan and Maldives. In 2010, around 2010, Afghanistan was included as the 8th member of SAARC. So now there are 8 members. So if we read the history of SAARC, earlier in the formative phase, SAARC was very active. It came up with innovative plans for disaster management, to combat terrorism, for rural development, for education, for cultural, in the area of health, and so many areas of cooperation were identified. But then again, the problem is basically that SAARC is some sort of an unnatural type of an organization. Structurally speaking, that around two-thirds of South Asia is India. India has borders with almost all the South Asian countries, except of course Sri Lanka, where it's very, in the proximity, Maldives and Afghanistan. So India has a lot of, responsibility. Then you have Pakistan. These two countries dominate as far as SAARC is concerned. Then when there is Article 10 of the Charter of SAARC, which basically maintained that bilateral contentious issues cannot be discussed within the framework of SAARC. So if you have a meeting, SAARC meeting, foreign ministers meeting, or the summit of SAARC, bilateral issues, Kashmir issue cannot be discussed, or if Bangladesh, Nepal and Sri Lanka have issues with India, they cannot discuss. The idea was basically that SAARC should focus on economic regional cooperation. It was inspired as a result of the success of European Economic Community at that time, now European Union and Association for Southeast Asian Nations. That is the reason why in 1977, 1978, the then President of Bangladesh, Ziaur Rahman, General Ziaur Rahman, he mooted the idea of South Asian regional cooperation, which was taken seriously by the member countries. And in 1981, there was the first meeting of foreign secretaries of South Asia. In 1983, there was the first foreign ministers meeting of South Asian countries. And then South Asia, the SAARC was formally launched in December 1985. So it has been 36 years since SAARC has been formed, and nowadays it is in limbo because there is no activity as such. There are many various minor activities. The pandemic, the coronavirus and things like that, that was an opportunity, as all the South Asian countries have been affected, particularly India and Pakistan, Bangladesh, Sri Lanka, they are heavily affected because of pandemic. But this regional organization, unlike the European Union, has not been able to get together. They tried virtually, but then of course no proper coordination, no proper initiative whereby all the South Asian SAARC member countries should have got together, and then there are also other issues where SAARC has not been able to perform. Only 5% of trade is among the South Asian countries. That is, regional trade is only 5%. That's unfortunate. 20% of world's poor, they live in South Asia. Half of the world's illiterate population lives in South Asia. But South Asia is a victim of, you can say, leadership which is totally non-committed. It's not committed as far as regional cooperation is concerned. It has not been able to implement as far as South Asia professional trade arrangements, and in the area of commerce and education and travel and tourism. Look at the connectivity in South Asia. The capitals are not properly connected as far as the flights are concerned. Tourism, that is not. So basically, the idea which was presented, that in order to pull South Asia, pull SAARC from its limbo status, China should be included as a full member of SAARC. Presently, People's Republic of China has an observer status. So if China is made a full member of SAARC, that will create some sort of balance in. But why would India allow that? Although China has borders with the majority of South Asian countries like Afghanistan, Pakistan, India, Nepal, Bhutan, Bangladesh is in the proximity of China. China has under the BRI, Belt and Road Initiative, under CPEC, has billions of dollars of investments in India and China. Their trade is $100 billion. China is India's largest trading partner. But that is something which one needs to contemplate if China is included as a full member of SAARC. And Sri Lanka supports the idea, Pakistan is supporting the idea, Nepal will support the idea, Bangladesh may support the idea, Afghanistan may support the idea, but end of the day, you will have only Bhutan and India who will not support the Chinese. And China cannot be admitted as a full member of SAARC unless all the countries they agree to. That was the case in Afghanistan, because Pakistan had reservations when there was the case of Afghanistan being admitted as a full member of SAARC. So when Pakistan's reservations were dropped, only then Afghanistan became a member. So there is no indication about the SAARC summit, and I am not saying that holding a summit will make a difference. The thing is basically that visa regime, flexible visa regime among the South Asian countries. SAARC University in New Delhi, that is almost, it's not that functional. So you have to give focus on connectivity as far as the visa regime is concerned, promoting trade and all that, but then SAARC is a victim of India, Pakistan, their conflicts. Unless there is a headway in managing and in resolving the contentious issues between India and Pakistan, SAARC will not, proceed with its agenda. So, for how long the SAARC summit will not be held? Because India doesn't want Islamabad to host the SAARC summit. That is, I think, condemnable. Bilateral issues between member countries, such issues should not be used in order to hurt and harm as far as SAARC is concerned. And as a result, one can say that, what is the performance of South Asia as far as world sports is concerned? In the last Olympics, no South Asian country was able to obtain a gold medal, which is shameful. So, the approach is the mindset as far as those who wield power in South Asia needs to be changed. And it has to take into account the future of 1.8 billion people of South Asia. That South Asia is facing serious threats, climate change, global warming, then food security, water issues, energy, things like that. So instead of working together, if the South Asian countries, SAARC countries, they take pleasure when they hurt each other. If India loses something, Pakistan is happy. If Pakistan loses something, then India is happy, and vice versa. That is something which should end. Thank you very much.